Try and picture the situation. You're a science whiz-kid on a team of experts heading to the most dangerous island in the world, Isla Nublar, the site of Jurassic World. While out in the jungle, you head through some brush and find an old nest full of hatched eggs. Quite the find. After snagging some samples, you suddenly realize you've lost your team and now you're stranded alone on an island full of dinosaurs. So, what do? Curl up into a fetal position and wait for the nearest meat eater to make you their midday snack? I don't think so. It's time to spring into action and build yourself a makeshift shelter before some of the strongest and smartest dinosaurs come lurking. First things first, you'll want to start collecting materials stat. Now this ain't any old island, so you don't want to build any old bunker. There's no one right way to build a shelter, especially on an island teeming with meat-eating dinosaurs. So how you decide to build your makeshift bunker will depend on what materials you can find. An island like Isla Nublar does have its fair share of battered old equipment, cars, and even broken down buildings that would all make great starters for a shelter. You'll want something that's airtight enough to keep out a gallimimus and strong enough to stand up to a triceratops horn. And maybe more than anything else, you'll want to do whatever you can to keep the island's smartest dinosaur at bay. Velociraptors like Blue are on the prowl across the island, which you're gonna want to avoid at all costs. They have a bite that's about as strong as a large American alligator, but with a lot more smarts. Raptors are known to hunt in packs, plan their attacks, and even set traps for potential prey. That means you'll need to bring your A game in order to outsmart a predator like Blue. You'll want to make sure you disguise your hideout so it doesn't attract unwanted attention. Sure, packing sticks, palm fronds, and plenty of mud against the side of your bunker helps, but that's just a start. To keep the more intelligent dinosaurs away, you might need to employ more creative tactics. Tricks, traps, diversions, and fakery are the name of the game when you're being hunted by a pack of predators as lethal as a velociraptor. Try distracting them with a loud sound in the distance, or deceiving them with a simple trap. Heck, you can try confusing them by building a scarecrow and fake bunker if you have to. Whatever it takes to outthink the pack and keep your shelter hidden. But if the absolute worst happens and you hear the unmistakable pounding sound of a T-Rex coming your way, well then it's time to put the smarty solutions to the side, focus on sheer brute force, and truly put our bunker to the test. The T-Rex is considered the queen of dinosaurs for a reason. They're about the size and speed of a school bus. Their bite is stronger than any animal alive today, and their thick serrated teeth can slice through meat and bones with ease. So, all that to say, you're gonna wanna make sure your bunker is T-Rex proof. The good news is, these big monsters do have one big weakness. They have terrible eyesight. That means all you really have to do is keep your wits about you and don't panic as the T-Rex makes its terrifying approach. Much easier said than done, but key to keeping your bunker safe from a Tyrannosaurus attack. If you've slathered your shelter in mud, that should help mask your scent. All that's left to do is hunch down in your bunker and keep as still as you possibly can as the carnivore comes sniffing around. And now you know what it takes to build a dino-proof bunker that's strong enough and smart enough to withstand the dangers of Jurassic World. Now, you just gotta find a way off the island. Good luck! Try and picture it. You're a star student with just the right combination of brains, brawn, death-defying bravery, willing to take an internship at the single most intensive animal training program on the planet, the Velociraptor paddock inside Jurassic World. Lucky for you, there's a blueprint for training raptors thanks to Owen Grady's painstaking work with Charlie, Delta, Echo, and Blue. These highly skilled and highly intelligent dinosaurs are trained to follow more than 40 different commands. So how do you do it? Well, it's no small feat and not for the faint of heart. What makes raptors so fierce isn't just their size, speed, or smarts, all of which they have in spades. It's their pack hunting skills that make them truly formidable. A group of velociraptors can outpace and outwit just about any prey they choose. But those same skills can be used to help train a raptor to follow your commands, if you have the guts to try. The first and most important raptor training technique takes plenty of patience. It's called imprinting, and it may just be the key to taming a predator as cunning and capable as Blue. In order to imprint onto a raptor, you're going to want to do whatever you can to be there as the dinosaur hatches from its egg. Once that cute little thing pokes its head out, you'll be the very first thing it sees. That means from the get-go, this little baby raptor is going to look to you for food and protection. You'll need to keep working with them daily, constantly reinforcing that bond so they know who's boss. A raptor as clever as Blue is smart enough to decide for herself who to trust. So without all that training, Owen would have a hard time getting her to do just about anything she didn't want to. Which brings us to our next raptor training technique, establishing yourself as the alpha of the pack. It doesn't matter if you're training a doggy or a dinosaur. You've gotta show them who's boss. Make direct, unflinching eye contact when giving commands. And most important, don't get scared. If you want him to follow your orders, you'll have to show him you ain't spooked by standing your ground and speaking in a firm, clear voice. Easier said than done when you're looking a raptor right in its dark, piercing eyes. And while all that bravado is important, earning their respect is still the best way to establish long-lasting trust with a pack of raptors. So that's how you train a raptor to trust you, but teaching it to know what you're saying? That's a whole nother can of worms. Or in this case, rats. Owen taught his pack of raptors over 40 vocal commands using a simple method called clicker training. You teach the dinos commands through clicks and phrases, giving them food each time they obey a command. If you do that over and over and over again, even an unruly raptor will begin to obey your commands. It just takes lots of patience and even more practice to get just right. And when it comes to raptors, you're gonna want to get it right. Try to imagine the situation. You're knee-deep and sinking into thick island foliage, snapping priceless pictures of the dinosaurs dotting the landscape of Isla Nublar. Not a bad gig. At least until you hear the unmistakable boom of a 10-ton T-Rex heading right in your direction. Before you know it, those booms turn into roars, and the terrifying truth comes crashing through the trees. We have a T-Rex. So, what you gonna do when a wild tyrannosaur comes running at you? Well, listen close, because believe it or not, you may just be able to outrun that dino and come out of this one alive. So pay attention. The first thing you'll want to know about the T-Rex is it's not exactly built for speed. These monsters are mammoth in size, and it ain't easy to lug all that meaty mass around. So, it's more speed walking than a flat-out run. But even so, they can get moving. Experts estimate that your average tyrannosaur could run between 11 and 25 miles per hour, but Isla Nublar star attraction was even faster. Researchers on the original Jurassic Park clocked the T-Rex at a brisk 32 miles per hour. Let's start with the bad news. A marathon runner goes about 10 miles an hour on average, which is slower than even the slowest T-Rex. Translation? You ain't outrunning a T-Rex in a cross-country competition. But the good news? In a dead-on sprint, you might actually stand a chance. You see, slow and steady wins the race for the queen of dinosaurs. But quick and compact is the name of the game for any human looking to survive a one-on-one race with the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Your biggest advantage is your teeny tiny little frame. Being so big, it takes a T-Rex some time to get its massive body up to top speed. But us humans are light enough to get up to top speed quick. Think of them like giant man-eating Mack trucks, compared to your average two-door sedan. But don't think you're out of the woods yet, because you better believe that the chase is still on. The T-Rex may be slow to start, but its long strides make it quick to catch up. Now, most of us can't run at top speed for too long, especially when you add in the toll it takes to panic at the sight of this bone-chilling beast. But lucky for you, a dinosaur as heavy as a T-Rex can't keep lumbering along at those speeds forever. Eventually, that big brute starts tuckering itself out. And that's where your extreme size disadvantage is finally going to work in your favor. Nothing that size can change direction so quickly, so someone as teeny as you survives by darting around every which way. If they zig, you zag. Before long, even the most ticked off T-Rex is gonna give up and move on to find themselves prey that's bigger, meatier, and less of a pain in their butt. Now look at you, successfully outrunning a battle-scarred behemoth without losing your wits. No small feat. Speaking of running, time to hightail it to safety. If you can find it. There are few places more wild than the abandoned site of Jurassic World on Isla Nublar. It's a thick, thorny jungle full of prehistoric dinosaurs with the strength and smarts to survive on an island chock full of apex predators. So how do they do it? How do plant eaters and carnivores, big and small, survive on an island where there seems to be deadly dangers behind every bush? Some of the most dangerous dinosaurs in the jungle simply survive by being at the top of the food chain. Both the T-Rex and velociraptor are lethal hunters who use thick, serrated teeth or recurved claws on their toes to attack prey and control their territory. They might be the biggest threats in the jungle, but they're far from the only carnivores surviving on the island. Like the Carnotaurus. This meat-eating monster with devil-like horns is known for winding up and delivering one heck of a kick in battle. It also weighs well over 2 tons and can run faster than a T-Rex. So if its kick doesn't get you, it'll just chase you down and take a bite. All that might make them fierce, but not fiercer than a Tyrannosaur. Baryonyx is another dino adept at surviving on Isla Nublar. These giant 30-foot lizards looked a bit like a colossal crocodile, but much faster and way more vicious. Unlike most carnivores in Jurassic World, the Baryonyx doesn't just use its long, powerful snout full of sharp teeth to attack. Instead, Baryonyx stalks in secret near edges of lakes and rivers, waiting for dinner to wander within reach. Once they get close enough, these prehistoric predators use their jaws and claws to pin down their victim and grapple them until they lose strength. Then it's feeding time. As if Isla Nublar's carnivores aren't terrifying enough, even the island's herbivores are forces to be reckoned with. They might not try to eat you, but that doesn't mean they can't pack quite a punch when survival's on the line. Take the Triceratops, for example. These ferocious plant eaters are large, ornery, aggressive, and have no problem fighting to protect their turf. Most Triceratops have visible scars and scratches on their body and bony fills from confrontations with other dinosaurs who got too close. Surviving isn't always easy, even for a dino as strong as a Triceratops. All it takes is eating the wrong plant to poison an herbivore and take down leaf eaters large and small. Speaking of small, sometimes that's the very best way to survive when you're living in a jungle full of dangerous dinos. That's the case for Gallimimus, a 15-foot omnivore who's still plenty large to us humans, but dwarfed by many of the other dinosaurs on Isla Nublar. These social creatures form packs that work together to keep the whole group safe, using their sleek speed to outrun most predators. They prefer to eat fruits, berries, and leaves, but Gallimimus will catch and chow down on small animals too, to get some extra protein. They don't need to eat nearly as much to survive, about 7 pounds per day, compared to over 300 pounds for a T-Rex. That means these little guys can put all their effort into staying secure and alive. Some dinosaurs, like brachiosaurs, stay safe just by being so big. These long-necked behemoths can grow to more than 40 feet tall, reaching its neck to the hardest to reach spots, never really needing to compete for its food. It would take one desperate dino to try and attack a brachiosaurus. These massive creatures are basically huge mountains of muscle, making them a tough matchup, even for the queen of the jungle herself. So it's safe to say the different dinos of Jurassic World have found their own ways to survive, even thrive on an island full of deadly dinosaurs.